Oh, Pete, what's bringing you in today?
Oh, I shouldn't even be there. They're making me come in here.
So what do you feel like they're making you come in
They said I have to come to counseling, saying that I have a drinking problem. I ain't got no damn drinking problem.
here? Right? From what I understand, is you've had a couple incidents because of alcohol.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily say that, it's mostly their fault that I drink. So, it dates back to the military. I mean, it was a bunch of crap, you know. I don't have nothing to, they try to say that I had a bad attitude and stuff, and the fact of the matter is they kept me from deploying with my unit, and I should have went with them.
Okay.
So they said my drinking got in the way, and I said, well, I wouldn't be drinking if they didn't treat me the way they treated me, and then I got in trouble for being, you know, they said ass and insubordinate, you know. So now, as a civilian, with all the capital scar, you have a drink, but I don't have a drinking problem.
Okay. So when you were in the military, you were drinking, but you were controlling it. From the sounds of it, sounds like you were in control a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you started having some issues from it, and your unit didn't want to take you to deploy with them.
Yeah, well, the thing is everybody drinks. Everybody drank, and they had me pay. But I had to clear blue that I was the one that was a problem.
Okay.
Because I supposedly smelled like alcohol the next morning or whatever to work, and then they wanted to supposedly random drug test me, and I got pissed off. And what the icing on the cake was there was I admitted it. I was caught. I let the air out of the vehicle tires, the GOV tires. So when the transport guy showed up for me, the MP showed up to take me in to go get my damn drug screen because they thought I was intoxicated. So I did. I cut the valve sims.
Okay.
So I got written up Article 15, and then they recommended discharge.
All
But,
right.
well, there was a scuffle, and I resisted arrest. But at the end of the day, they're accusing me of something that I don't have, which is a problem.
All right. So now let's kind of move forward a little bit to today.
Mhm.
So you've had another alcohol related incident of some kind.
Well, I've had a couple DUIs, but at the end of the day, I feel like I even questioned the officer. When was the last time he gauged his little machine, his breathalyzer or whatever. The last time I refused to blow because all they do is it's like they target me. Everybody targets me.
Yeah.
So I got a couple DUIs, and now I'm in court, and in veterans court, they tell me I need to seek help, but then when I try to reach out for it, I'm not qualified because I was less than honorably discharged, and I don't see what I have as a problem. I do get angry, like most men would, like most people would, get pissed off because people are constantly pushing my buttons.
Right. So you're feeling kind of angry and pissed off and maybe unfairly treated.
Mm-hmm.
Because some folks might be out to get you, but you feel like they're out to get you.
They are.
And but there's some other stuff going on too. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at that too, because let's kind of go back. You got a less than honorable discharge. That probably made you feel a little.
Well, I served more than 5 years, and it's not right. I was serving honorably, and I did my job. I'd always be there for everyone in my unit, my brothers and my sisters, and it was just like, everything went from being like family oriented to, a bunch of kiss asses get to do what they want to do and go make money. And I was the one that spoke the truth, and I stood up for it. They didn't like hearing the truth, so it was like everybody was out to get me after that.
Right. So you felt kind of separated even while you were with your unit.
Yeah, like I was, pushed aside, like I was all by myself, like everybody was looking at me different.
Okay.
And it's just now that I'm not in the service, I feel the same damn way with the stupid court system. I'm going through the same thing. They don't want to listen to what I have to say. I stand up for what I say, and it seems like they're just out to try and make me, dig myself deeper.
Right.
I'm in it to help me.
Okay. So you're feeling like you're getting abandoned again, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like your unit kind of, when you were in the military, that they kind of, looked their nose down at you and kind of separated you before you were even in trouble. And then here you are now as a civilian kind of getting the same treatment.
Yeah, pretty much. I try to keep it to myself, but when somebody comes at me sideways, I stand up for myself, and that's just the way it is. They did it in the service, and, was everything was all fine and dandy until what ended up happened. Like I said, I called them out. I said,
Right.
it's straight and shit. They had no right to do what they did to me. I mean, I had seniority over a lot of people in our unit, and I should have went. And they were just, like I said, they had me pegged. And, you know, I keep to myself when I drink, and I usually don't try to be violent, but there's times where I do lose my cool, but I feel I'm within my right.
Well, it sounds to me, you know, and I'm not trying to be judgmental in any way, but it sounds to me like there might be something to look at just because, you know, we're where we are. We're having trouble with the law a few times, you know, and it seems like it might be affecting your life a little bit.
Well, it is, but there wouldn't be no trouble with the law if they just leave me the hell alone. That's
Okay.
not right. I mean, so look, I have a couple of beers and I get behind the wheel. I'm not drunk, you know. And there was one time, and it's kind of funny now that I think about it. I mean, I was leaving my buddy's farm, what I thought was my buddy. They told me I shouldn't be driving, and I was like, I'm out in the country, it's not a big deal. And I did slow down into a little irrigation ditch at the edge of the next farmer's property. The next thing you know, the sheriff shows up and they throw me in the backseat of the car and book me. And it's like, what the hell? And then I found out they're the ones that called on me because I shouldn't have been driving.
So you're feeling once again, you're kind of feeling like you got disrespected, you kind of got stabbed in the back a little bit.
Betrayed by my own friends.
Betrayed by your buddies that were supposed to be watching out for you, and you feel like, you know, instead of protecting you, they kind of threw you out there to get in trouble.
Yeah. What other way is there to see it? That's what they did. They wanted to see me get arrested. They wanted to see me get in trouble.
Well, you know, let's take a look at from their side. So if you were those guys,
Mm-hmm.
and one of your friends was out endangering people or about to do something, and you couldn't stop them, what would you do?
Well, you know, that's what I say because, I mean, you know, usually when I speak or when something like that happens, you know, everybody kind of respects it, so I thought, but apparently not. But I think for most cases, I would have just, you know, the fact of the matter is I don't think I was drunk. And they said I was, and they said it was for my better good, and they were trying to watch out for my well-being, you know, and didn't want to see me get hurt or get killed in an accident or whatever. And it's like I told them, I'm a grown-ass man, you know, and, you know, I think that, you know, if the tables were turned, if I really felt that way, I would physically not allow somebody to leave.
Okay. So maybe those guys didn't feel comfortable doing that. Maybe they just didn't feel comfortable getting in a physical altercation with you. You know, you're kind of a tough guy. You're a little bit intimidating. You know, so I don't know if I was one of your friends, that was at the bar with you, I'd probably be a little, you know, nervous about really getting in between you and your business myself. So
I could kind of see that. You know, I can understand that, you know, because they did say that there's no way they try to keep me physically from going.
right.
Because I would, it didn't matter. I did it with my own brothers, you know, that's the way I was raised. You know,
Okay.
somebody puts their hands on you in your own blood, you're in your right to defend yourself. So, but
Yeah. So maybe those guys, you know, they're not too comfortable with, you know, altercations. You might be a little more comfortable with that. You know, some folks are just not. They're not at that level.
you know, and I don't look for trouble, that's the thing. But I just have zero tolerance at this point in my life. I don't want to have nothing to do with anybody that I feel I can't trust. And right now, I feel like I can't trust anybody. I really don't even want to be here right now. I don't want to be here talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to do with this whole stupid system and what they're forcing me to do. I don't have nothing to do with it.
Well, you know, unfortunately, there's some steps that we got to do to get through the system. You know, it's kind of got us in a bind here. You know, so you know, counseling's part of that bind sometimes, and it's, you know, you may want to see if you can make the best of it, and, you know, maybe pull some information out, take a look at yourself a little bit.
Well, I'm here.
And that's a big step, you know. Really showing up is one of the biggest steps.
I mean, in the last two, when they tried to make it mandatory, that's what I got in trouble for. Was
Right.
I never showed up to counseling. And I finally said, you know what? I'm just never going to want to just go along and get along. I've always had integrity and owned up to my own stuff. And, you know, now it's to the point to where it's like it's this or go to the big house.
Right.
And I'm trying my best not to do that, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like, you know, it doesn't matter what I do, whether I do it right or not, they're gonna find something else. They're gonna try and do something else to push me over the edge. I can't get a legitimate job, you know? I'm out there trying to hustle to make money,
Right.
you know? A job for 1 week, you know, I go to the same day labor places, I work there for a day, hoping to get hired on, they'll hire me on, and when work runs out after a week, I'm back to stage one, ground zero, and it's like, you know, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Right. Well, you know, I hear you. I hear you saying that, you know, you want to look out for yourself. You want to do the right thing. You want to take positive strides.
Yeah.
You know, and part of those positive strides, you know, might be to do a little self-evaluation. You know, and see what is affecting you and what you can change.
About myself, like, I mean, because I like to feel like, you know, like when I enlisted in the service, there was nothing really to change about me except for my knowledge and experience and to keep gaining that. And, you know, I was never frowned upon for it. And I just felt like, you know, out of the clear blue, like I said, it was the people that were having noses between NCOs' butts, butt cheeks, that were starting to get the step up, people deploying to go make easy money, you know, and stuff like that. And to me, I don't deploy for the money. I deploy to serve my country. And when they did that, I mean, they said I smelled like alcohol, and I denied it. And, you know, it doesn't matter that I was up till 3 o'clock drinking, or if I had a drink before I went to work. The fact of the matter is, I wasn't drunk.
Right.
So I look at it like this, you know, I can evaluate things, but the same thing that I served honorably for more than 5 years is the same reason why now I'm sitting here. I'm the same person. But politics changed, and that's not the way life's supposed to be.
Well, you know, what I'm hearing you saying is that, you know, you stayed up drinking until 3 in the morning, and you know, tried to show up for work, and, you know, some stuff happened at that point. You know, those guys got to look out for their safety and their soldiers' safety as well as your safety too.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that was like the norm around here. I mean, everybody used to do it. Everybody did. And that's what I had a real big problem with, you know. The two guys that I was with were in, you know, in the next block down. They were 2 parking lots over from where I was.
Right.
That I was out with. But I like to think like I wasn't drunk. I mean, I was coherent enough to think, okay, how can I keep from going to go get piss tested?
Right.
So I cut the damn lobsters.
Well,
that's. I mean, I was coherent enough to do that. Does that show that I'm drunk or I'm sober?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it shows that you're thinking, but let's look at your thought process on that. You know, if you were, you know, truly not doing drugs and not doing these things,
I don't do drugs. I drink.
Right. So you wouldn't have a reason not to go do your urinalysis.
That's true.
But, you know, you were kind of looking at it from maybe a little bit different angle. Might have been looking like they're picking on me, so maybe they're going to set me up.
That's what I was thinking, because it was like, you know, there's been plenty of times that people have, you know, do the same exact thing. Like I said, we used to do it together as a unit. We'd go to the NCO club, we'd even go to the officers club and have drinks all night. But that one day, that one incident, they were accusing me of being drunk, but it led up to that, you know. I started getting my crack details, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing things outside of my MOS. I'm doing stuff that I'm not even supposed to be doing, and it's like, what the hell is this? There's no integrity in this.
Right.
You know. I mean, for God's sake, you know, I'm over here. I'm an E5, E6, and I got, you know, an E1 that's over here that's doing basically what my job's been for the last 2.5 years, and they tell me to go get supplies, and I'm like, I'm not a supply guy. You know.
So you were feeling kind of slighted even then, even when you were in the military, that you were kind of getting a raw deal.
Yeah, like I said, it just pushed me over the edge because you know, everybody knew me, whether drinking or not. I always called a spade, and what it was my nose was never meant to be between anybody's ass cheeks, and that's the way it is. I did my job, I knew it, and then when I started getting singled out, I started standing up for what's right, and apparently that's not right. They won't that unit, you know. My first sergeant tried to go to bat for me. He said there was nothing I could do because there was multiple instances where I was insubordinate, you know, and, you know, I had, 3 LOCs, which are letters of counseling,
Right.
2 letters of reprimand, you know, just for that one incident because of my NCO, and then also his boss was there when I finally went off. And I said, I'm not going. You know, and I can see where you're coming from. I mean, yeah, you know, out of being desperate, I did cut the valve stems, but it wasn't because I was trying to cover anything up. It was like I was proving you're not going to control me, and if you're going to get me over there, you're going to have to physically take me. I'm not getting in that car. So.
I mean, that's kind of a pretty negative statement that you're making too. You know, it's like, you know, you're not going to control me. You're not going to do things. So you got to look at the situation, you know, that you're in right now, you know, and kind of, you know, where is this kind of thinking? Where's this thought process getting you?
Well, I talked to my pastor at my church, and he told me, you know, sometimes you got to give to get. And
Right.
so, you know, I'm not going to lie, you know, I've kind of turned the table a little bit and backed off on the drinking since I've been demanded to do all this stuff. And I see things a little more clearly, but the pain's still there, man.
Right.
The pain's still there. I mean, they could have done a lot of other things than more than just, you know, than basically try to run my life.
Okay. So let's address that. So you're feeling hurt and you're feeling pain.
Yeah.
And you know, what kind of things can we work on to start getting past those feelings?
You know, in the past, an apology would have been accepted, but at this point, I honestly don't know. And like I said, first, I want to thank you because I feel a little bit more comfortable talking to you. Like I said, I never did this before, you know.
Right.
But I know that I have to, or it's a trip to the big house. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of feeling comfortable. I think that the biggest step would be for, you know, one, I'm willing to stop drinking and look at things through a different lens because I know the drinking got me here, and I accept that.
Right.
But I still don't think I have a drinking problem. That's the thing.
And that's, you know, just looking at the problems that drinking's caused. I mean, that's a huge step. You know, you know, and admitting that, like, hey, I've had some problems because of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the bad thing is, for me, is it doesn't matter whether I've been drinking or I'm sober. I'm the same person.
Right.
I'm still going to call a spade, and I'm still going to call BS if it's BS. That's just the way it is. And people don't like that. Apparently, they didn't like it eventually on you.
Well, I'm gonna take my magic wand now. You're gonna be healed of everything.
Yeah.